Welcome back to the Nerdcore podcast. Podcast reviews some movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 444, and as always, is the nerd you're gonna hear the host show alongside my wonderful co-host 444. It's like that Jay Z album, bro. 444.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's
As always,
comfortable.
joined by Gung Yoda.
What's up, everybody? Episode 444, triple four. Four on the floor.
We do not recommend you to choose those numbers as your lottery numbers.
No, that's just no. You never know, though.
You never know, but I don't know. Don't blame us.
Don't take any advice from us ever.
No. And man, and what's it called? Of course, today we are finally in September. You know what that means. It is the beginning of our International Film Month here at the Nerdcore as we look at movies made from outside of the United States of America.
Woo.
And yep, it's one of my favorite months of the year. We get to do a lot of cool stuff and a lot of good movies.
Watch a lot of
And,
movies that we have no idea about.
No idea about. And yeah, how are you doing today, Brad? How's Labor Day yesterday?
It was nice. I slept in, and then I watched a really long movie.
Yep.
And I took a nap in between watching that really long movie.
Yeah. I had a similar day like yours.
Yeah, I watched an hour and 30, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
It's okay, man. That's how you do it. You break it up 1 hour and 30, or when you get to part 2, you just leave part 2 for the next
There's
day.
some points where you're going, I know this movie's not boring me. I'm just really fucking
Yeah.
tired.
That's the thing. So like, I'm gonna go ahead and say before I start, I know this movie was not boring. Okay,
No.
I'm gonna tell you that right now. But I'm so tired. I woke up really early. What's it called? I had to get out of bed yesterday. 20 minutes in, I paused it. I was like, I have to go to sleep for a bit because I can't do this. My eyes
Yeah.
are falling asleep. And I'm just tired, man. And I
Welcome to
went
my
to
life.
bed. Woke up, went to finish. Like I finished an hour and 3 minutes in, and I was like, okay, we'll leave 2 hours for tomorrow.
I mean, that's sometimes what you have to do especially for these long movies.
Yeah.
Like I can't just sit for like 3 hours. Like I really did try roll, and it's just like
I know.
I got to the hour 30 minute, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah.
It's Labor Day. I'm gonna take a nap.
I pretty much just ran errands on Labor Day, and I came back home, watched this movie, and ate some food, and then went to bed because what's it called? I was asleep. What's it called? I wanted to sleep today. I wanted to sleep yesterday. I didn't even get to sleep that much. But yeah, I watched an hour yesterday. Finished it up right now, literally right now. I was not tired watching it right now. I guess because of that G Fuel finally like
G Fuel
excess
kicked
amount of
in?
G Fuel.
Which flavor?
Oh, I'm still rocking with my Raging Gummy-Fish, bro.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I will say I'm in love with the Bahama Mama.
Mama.
Bahama
Yeah.
Mama. That is my shit.
And I don't know if you noticed, Brad, but I shaved. I went ahead and shaved.
I did not notice.
Yeah. And all of this is going away on Saturday. I'm going to go cut my hair. I'm not gonna look like Andrei Rublev in the movie anymore. I'm done. At least I can't get that beard, but I do have a little bit of the wonky ass hair. But yeah. And of course, we are starting our month here looking at international films by discussing the 1966 Russian historical drama epic film Andrei Rublev from Andrei Tarkovsky. And yeah, man, what's it called? I'm excited. Brad and I, we picked some good stuff this month, and I'm excited
Hopefully.
to go through them. Yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah. I mean, I've
Mama
watched
también.
I've watched a lot of movies you've chosen already. Yeah, y tú, mama también. Yeah, I can't.
Can we still
Next
use that
week-
joke after we review it?
Next week the bit dies. I don't know if it will go well, but
Y tú, mama también.
Brad, do you know Spanish? Yeah, y tú, mama también. And your mother too.
You never asked if I spoke it fluently. You just asked if I knew some Spanish, and
Yeah,
I know quite a few. They're all the bad words, but I know quite a few.
and the movie titles, and
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Well, granted, my friends, this movie did come out. Well, it's gonna be interesting how we talk about when this movie came out. This movie came out in 66. So I don't have to give you guys a spoiler warning. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading from our friends over at Wikipedia, the best source, I guess, or just whatever we can use.
Our only source we ever
Our only
use.
source. Yeah. Andrei Rublev, or pronounced Rublev, is a 1966 Soviet epic biographical historical drama film directed by Andrei Tarkovsky and co-written with Andrei Konchalovsky. The film was remade and re-edited from the 1966 film titled "The Passion According to Andrei" by Tarkovsky, which was censored during the first decade of the Brezhnev era in the Soviet Union. Uh, the film is loosely based on the life of Andrei Rublev, the 15th century Russian icon painter. The film features Anatoly fuck, I hate myself. Solinstein, Nikolai Grinko, Ivan Lapikov, Nikolai Sergeyev, Nikolai Burlayev, and Tarkovsky's wives Irma Rausch, Sanva Yamshikov, a famous Russian restorer and art historian, was a scientific consultant on the film. Andrei Rublev is set against the background of early 15th century Russia. Although the film is only loosely based on the life of Andrei Rublev, it seeks to depict a realistic portrait of medieval Russia. Tarkovsky sought to create a film that shows the artist as a historic figure and Christianity as an axiom of Russia's historical identity during a turbulent period of Russian history that ultimately resulted in the Tsardom of Russia. The film's themes include artistic freedom, religion, political ambiguity, autodidacticism, and the making of art under a repressive regime. Because of this, it was not released domestically in the official atheist Soviet Union for years after it was completed, except for a single 1966 screening in Moscow. A version of the film was shown at the 1969 Cannes Film Festival, where it won the Fipresci Prize. In 1971, a censored version of the film was released in the Soviet Union. The film was further cut for commercial reasons upon its U.S. release through Columbia Pictures in 1973. As a result, several versions of the film exist. Although these issues with censorship obscured and truncated the film for many years following its release, the film was soon recognized by many Western critics and film directors as a highly original and accomplished work. Even more since being restored to its original version, Andrei Rublev has come to be regarded as one of the greatest films of all time and has been often ranked highly in both sight and sound critics and directors polls. There's another version of this film that existed that they don't talk about until you go into like deep into the Wikipedia article. Soviet television premiered this movie highly censored without telling Tarkovsky in like 72.
So how long was that movie? Like just an hour?
It was like 100 and something. Like it was highly edited, bro,
Well, I mean, if they
and
like
censored.
you were telling me, if they edited out all the Christian imagery in this, there'd be no fucking movie.
Yeah. Spoilers. The Red Guardian was in fact not the hero of this film. um,
Did not make an appearance. No.
no. So of course, cinematography by Vadim Yuzov, and edited by 3 editors. God damn. Tatiana Gorchieva.
One for each hour.
They're all just 3 aliases that Tarkovsky goes under, bro.
Yep, probably.
Because none of them have Wikipedia.
No,
pages.
have it. Like they're all probably just Tarkovsky.
Yeah.
They'll never know I'm Olga.
Yeah. Guys, I'm really sorry. I'm not Russian, nor do I speak the Russian language, so I do not know how to pronounce half of these names. The music is done by Vyacheslav Orvichkov. Ovnichkov.
I bet that's better than I could do.
Yeah. So, of course, the first cut, which is available on the Criterion Collection, what's called Blu-ray. I have it. I bought it 2 sales ago, actually. Now, the Passion According to Andrei is 205 minutes. It sits at 3 hours and
3 minutes.
No, that's the first.
That's one I watched.
This one you watched, bro?
That's the one they had online.
No.
3 hours and 3 minutes.
Yeah, 6, 12, 18, 183 minutes. Yes, that's the final cut.
Okay,
The
so I watched
Passion,
the final cut. That
yeah,
was
the Passion according to Andre is 205 minutes, so that's 3 hours and 25 minutes. Yeah, 300. Yeah, 3 hours and 25 minutes. And it was made for 1.3 million rubles. But the version that we watched was the final cut, which is preferred by Tarkovsky, and it sits at 3 hours and 3 minutes.
I mean, if
So
I
this,
gotta watch a long ass movie, it's preferred by me too.
yeah. So the Snyder cut would be 9 hours. Shut up,
Yes,
bro.
yeah, but he's not wrong.
No, not
Snyder
wrong.
got his hands on this. It'd be 9
Yeah.
hours.
It is absolutely no surprise that it was censored as much as it was censored. Also, what's it called? Tarkovsky, what's it called? Scorsese was actually the first one to order the restoration of this one after the Laserdisc release of this movie on the collection. And it's though remember that thing I told you about how like the editor of his movies was known for keeping the original like cuts of the movies like under her bed,
Mm-hmm.
and then it like
It caught on fire.
caught on fire. Well, she also owned a copy of the cut of the original cut under her bed, and somehow Scorsese got that cut while in Russia. So I don't know what the hell happened or how Scorsese got it, but he got that first cut.
Well, when you have $1 million something, it doesn't surprise me.
Welcome, KP Sports 90. Thank you for the follow.
Thank you for the follow, KB Sports.
Yeah. So yeah, man, and of course there was a lot of like hard depictions of violence, which the Soviet Union did not like either, apparently. Um, but yeah, Brad, do you want me to go first, or should I go first?
You go first. It's your movie. You go first.
Yeah, let me completely suck this movie off, and that
You
way you
know,
can be like,
just down to the gullet.
yeah, so you can be like, it's all right.
That's just bad.
I have put this movie off for a really, really long time. If you go back to December of 2019, I believe, because 2020 was Abbas Kiarostami that we did. December of 2019, when I announced our picks, I originally chose this movie. But then I Googled the movie and I was like, this is 3 hours long.
Fuck
I
that.
have no time right now to be watching the 3 hour long minute movie. And to be fair, Stalker was our first movie and I finished watching that. So, like, what's an extra 20 minutes to me if I finished watching Stalker, which was like almost as long as this movie?
I mean, but it wasn't as long.
To
It was
be
20
fair,
minutes less.
but to be fair, like 20 minutes a movie is a lot.
Yeah.
You know, but like
Yeah.
still, you think about it, like what was it to me? Like I really could have chose this movie. So for like almost 2 years, I had said, I'm gonna watch this movie. I'm gonna watch this movie. I never once watched it. I planned a commentary of it for my personal channel. Never did it. I planned to choose it for a commentary for this channel. I never did it. And then Brad said, so you can always choose it for an international month. And I said, if I don't ever get the chance, I'm never going to be able to do it. So I chose this movie. And I hate myself every single bit for not watching this as soon as I could.
There's always that movie where you're just like, I'll get to it. And then it's just like, oh shit, that was the shit. That was great.
As on the grounds of the emperor himself, I tell you, no one can touch Kurosawa. But there is one man that can sit down with him at his table. And his name is Andrei Tarkovsky, bro. This also might just be one of my favorite black and white restorations that the Criterion Collection has done. Because this is beautiful, bro.
What did they do? Did they do the restoration for? Was that what we watched on the site? Was the restoration?
Which one did you do? The Criterion
Yeah,
channel?
the Criterion
Yes,
channel. Okay.
that is the restoration from.
And you know what? Like most of the movie, except at the end, and I don't know because where it goes into color is when it has an issue going into the color film.
It has that thing that is in Dersu, right?
Yeah, it's the camera. I don't know if it can't like get like focused on the color or like the colors at first look faded and then it finally comes in.
Well,
hello, Kylie.
Hey, Kylie. thank you for joining us, Kylie. Yeah.
Indeed.
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you.
On both of your
Appreciate
accounts. Yeah, that's 2 of your accounts.
Hell yeah.
I think
More than
that
merrier.
it's either the film stock was hard to develop because this is pretty early in color film stock, Brad.
Yeah.
When you think about it, or what's it called? It was intentional.
Which it might have been, and I'm not saying I had a problem with that.
Yeah.
It was noticeable because you go from black and white to color, and between that, there's that little bit of kind of weirdness and color grain.
He masters that in Stalker when he goes from sepia to color.
Oh yeah, he totally masters that in Stalker. But in this one, it's I don't know if it's meant. I don't know if that's just a restoration issue, but it doesn't last long, and you get the full bright color of the original painting of the Trinity.
Yeah. And to be fair, this is a high definition restoration. This is in 2K. This is in 4K. So we haven't seen like a really, really well restored. But even then, this is beautiful, dude. Like this is some of the best restoration I've seen. And also just like, it's crazy, bro. Like this man came close for me to being on par with Kurosawa's black and white. Like all those scenes in the rain and but like
he's good. He's good. We'll give him that. He's no emperor.
But Brett, that's like the snow, the way he captured the rain, and we both know we've seen our fair share of Tarkovsky. He has a beautiful way of
and I will put Tarkovsky right up there close to Kurosawa, but you can't make me say that rain scene in Rashomon is outclassed by anything I've seen from Tarkovsky. No.
But that's why I'm saying like he came close in this movie to being there with him because those like just the way he was capturing the rain, especially the snow. Whenever we were at the monastery, was beautiful to look at.
And although I did have a question on that because they said, "Oh, it's bad luck for it to snow in a monastery," and I'm like, they just burnt half this town down. We sure that's not ash? Like, and they're just thinking it's snow.
Like the last episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's just it's not snow. That's ash.
That's ash. But I love this movie. There's a lot more that I'm gonna go into, but I'm gonna go ahead and let Brad go into what he thought. But I just hate myself for not going into this, for not getting this movie done.
Been there. I think Dursa Uza. That was for me. Not watching that sooner.
Yeah,
that was for me for that. But this movie's great. I don't. The only issue I have with it is a fucking 3-hour movie.
It's 3 hours, bro.
You can cut 30 minutes out of it, 20 minutes. I'm good. But I say the same thing about most all 3-hour movies. I say that about Seven Samurai, and I love Seven Samurai. You cut it 20 minutes for me, and I'll be fine. I just have an issue when a movie runs longer than 3 hours. That's a personal kind of quabble. So I can't really tell these great directors you're sucking your own dick there towards the end. Come on now. But it's sometimes what it feels like with 3-hour movies.
Some beautiful dick sucking though, bro. Jesus Christ.
I will say this has beautiful scenes in it. Very memorable scenes. The one scene where he literally murders a soldier to save this woman, and this woman in the very next scene just goes off with them, and you're just like, you're a special kind of stupid. But we're just gonna leave off there. We're just gonna continue on. The whole bell making scene at the end, I thought it was meant for a different movie because of just we're following Andrei throughout this. And he's kind of just there, towards the end of the bell. I love the bell scene, though. I just following this kid who's like, hey, all my family died, but I know the secret of bell making. And then you realize, like, his dad was a total jerk and just died of the plague without leaving him the secret of bell making. And he just fucking lucked out for the most part, or had that much skill. I thought just that whole scene through there was pretty amazing. I mean, I can't really some of the fighting scenes, I don't know. I've just seen so many Kurosawa, men on
Mm-hmm.
horses fighting, like that. Those weren't as up to par for me. But then again, I feel like in Japan you can find a whole bunch of better suited
Mm-hmm.
theater troops out there who can do those scenes. And here, I think Tarkovsky probably had to just get a collective bunch of just
Yeah.
random,
He's also not that
Russian
type of
countrymen.
director.
And
Yeah.
also, he's not that type of director. No, so your war scenes aren't as
Yeah.
polished as a Kurosawa. That's what I would say. Which it doesn't really take away from the movie. It's just one of
Mm-hmm.
those things where I like when I think of war scene with horses and stuff. I'm thinking Kurosawa.
Yeah.
It's not quite up to that level, but it moves the story along.
Yeah.
And the whole scene where they're huddled in the church and they break down the doors, that's just it just there's just some memorable stuff, and they start peeling, I'm guessing, gold off the roofs and stuff. That's all I can
Mm-hmm.
figure out. We didn't talk about the pagan scene, which you texted me, you're like, dude,
Hey,
Tarkovsky knows how to
I
pick them.
so I'll go first. First, I'm gonna go off what you just said. Um, yeah, what's it called? He's not that type of director. He's not this like grand epic. Like
No,
this is as epic as he can get
yeah, I
because
mean,
like,
and maybe it's just
but it
because
still served his purpose.
I'm used to like Solaris and
Yeah,
Stalker, which it's more of this quiet haunting feeling. And this movie is definitely more of an epic for him. Of,
yeah,
this is one of those. It's basically like a documentary of somebody's life,
yeah.
a loose documentary, but and it's different. It's different from him what we're usually used to.
Hmm.
And Stalker's still my favorite from him.
Or
Like,
remember? Oh yeah. And
like
remember?
I like this movie, but Stalker's still a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, remember? He went from Ivan's childhood to this.
Yeah.
And
Wait,
if you,
and you remember we weren't very impressed with the black and white because we had watched all his colored movies. We were just like,
mhm,
the color movies that he makes, they just pop off the screen and they're
and
just like,
radioactive
you can't
green,
take
bro.
your eyes away from them. Whereas his black and white, they don't engross me as much as say Stalker or Solaris, or number of other movies we watched.
Mirror.
Yeah, Mirror. This one did okay. This one was better than Ivan's childhood for me. Like, he learned
Hmm.
some stuff on, I guess, storytelling in black and white, and this one moved really well. I thought for pacing wise for a 3 hour movie wasn't horrible.
And you can tell that they gave him a lot more room to work with because remember, he wasn't supposed to direct Ivan's childhood. He stepped in to direct it and
Hmm.
to polish the screenplay, but he wasn't supposed to direct. And you can tell that Mosfilm gave him a lot more room to work with in this movie.
Yeah.
Um, but to me, just like there's so many memorable stuff. First of all, just I, it's so hard to not look at these movies without feeling like Andrei's giving you like bits and pieces of what he believes his life is. Um,
Or what his religion is,
what his religion, yeah, and
because
what
he
faith is to
really,
him.
most of his movies dive deep into that, or talking shit on the government,
Yeah,
which I really do enjoy when he does that.
because this whole movie is him telling the Soviet Union, "You guys are fucking stupid that you refuse to believe that Christianity played a part in your history,
Yeah.
and you censoring art and destroying art because it reflects who you used to be. It doesn't do anything to erase what actually happened."
Well, and then Andre is just not Andre. He's Saint Andre. He was
Yeah,
canonized for his paintings.
yeah, yeah, and like
It's kind of a big deal.
throughout this, like that's why I feel like Tarkovsky just constantly puts there like, this is how I feel like as an artist. Like at the end, how Andre just the whole time, ever since the brutality of the Tatars coming in, he took that vow of silence.
I was wondering how the hell you said that. I'm like, is it like tartar sauce? Is it like Tatar? Like,
Tatar, I think.
I don't like. I'm not very
I
good
don't
with the
speak. I don't
historical
speak.
kind of.
I don't speak
All
Tatar.
I could figure, all I learned from just reading up on it is it was like a Mongolian
Hmm.
Russian sect.
Yeah, it was like Turkic people and
Yeah.
yeah. But ever since then, he doesn't speak. But it isn't. It's until he caresses that kid who's like crying because he can't believe that people care about what he makes like to that level, and he never got that from his father. And like that's kind of a way that Tarkovsky's kind of saying like for so long I don't understand what my art does, and somehow y'all connect to it. And in a way, remember his father wasn't a filmmaker. His father was a fucking, if I remember correctly, he was like a theater director. He was like a writer or something.
Yeah.
He was like a writer. And he's like, my father didn't pass me on this like grand message and this grand what's it called gift of being a writer. Like he chose, like cinema chose him, and he's able to go on and be the artist that he is, man. And that's why that whole last part with the kid just spoke so much to me. And I'm like, and it's what's it called? It's Tarkovsky. All of his movies have bits and pieces of who he is,
Mm-hmm.
and especially this one does too with the faith. It's he is a very important man of faith. With what's it called? His faith is so important to him, but he also knows when to like question his faith, which is like something that's so taboo, especially even now where people are like, you don't question what you believe in. Like you gotta just like continue going with it. Nobody wants to continue. No, like during the scene that's our background during the passion,
Mm-hmm.
he says, "What if the people who crucified Jesus actually loved Jesus? They did it because that was his will, and it was his will to always die on that cross."
Oh, that's one interpretation, and that's where you run into different interpretations of everything. So it's just another interpretation of what could have been, because guess what? None of us were there.
No, none of us were there. You know, and but
And you go into like the Bible and stuff. Like you get Jesus at birth, and then you get Jesus at 33. Like there's a shit ton of years there. We don't know. Why don't
yeah,
we know? There's somebody who wrote something down, and it's probably locked up in the Vatican. And
yeah,
like, I'm not going to go any further because they're going to make me missing.
yeah. But then there's like where Andre has his faith tested multiple times too. They want him to do that painting of the Last Judgment, but he's like, I'm not gonna paint this like very violent depiction that y'all want
Yeah,
because
to
I
scare
feel like
people.
because it's gonna scare people, and I feel like it guilts them into wanting to convert.
Yeah, and and that's why. Okay, so let's go to that scene. That's the scene in the church, and he
Hmm.
throws something on the wall.
Yeah,
Is that paint or shit?
that looked like shit, but it
It
was
looked like
paint.
shit,
But it
right?
was
And
paint. But it
then
was
you
paint.
had the woman smelling it.
Yeah.
So there
Well,
was that.
that woman was actually like probably like mentally not there. Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
reading in the wiki.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why she runs off, because she
She doesn't
short
know.
term memory in a
Yeah,
way.
she doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah,
But yes, that was painting, but that was paint, but it looked like shit.
it's hard to
Um,
tell in black and white. I even put that on Twitter. I'm just like,
yeah.
it's really hard to tell in
Is
black and
that
white if
is
it's
that
shit or
shit?
paint.
Shit.
Because he could be saying because it does. He could be saying a message there of, trying to scare people into faith is shit. He could
Yeah.
literally be saying that.
Yeah, and then that's why all of his movies are so like all of his movies that deal with like these ideas of faith, like this one, Stalker, they're never like preachy. They're never like, scary to tell you like fuck it, I'm gonna get into it. If you guys want to go ahead and get on me, you can get on me. The Passion of the Christ is one of the most guilt tripping movies you can ever watch. It literally scares you into wanting to be Catholic or Christian. Like it's literally meant to it's literally meant like that. Like why would you put that brutality there to like for any other purpose but to scare them into thinking like we all know we've read the Bible multiple times. We know that Jesus suffered a lot, you know. But like
I just want to put can I say my joke that I always say on the Passion?
yeah, yeah, right.
So when I went to see Passion of the Christ, I went to see it with a friend, and my friend, like, he was Catholic, like very Catholic, and
Yeah.
he's just bawling by the end of this movie. He turns to me, he's like, "You're not crying?" And I'm like, "I read the book,"
Fuck, bro. Yeah.
which just I didn't realize it, But yeah, I was a total asshole.
But I'm like something like that compared to this and Stalker, where like it's very organic, it's very conversation based, it's very based on like what you're looking at and what you're seeing. You know, the
Well, and
violence in here
it's
is
a
being
lot. It's a lot like Stalker. You get to the end, and he's not trying to like push them in. Like he wants them to go in to that room on their own accord. He even stops one from falling in because he knows he doesn't technically believe like in that. He doesn't have any
Mhm,
hope in that, but at the same time, he doesn't want him to like, just accidentally fall into it,
mhm,
which that's how most religions should be. They shouldn't be this fear-based, oh, you're going to go to hell and be
yeah,
eternity, like, you know, that is not the best way for me to get followers.
yeah. And I think that that's kind of like the way that what's it called that they kind of depicted Krill in here. Like he abandons the monastery, then he comes back like begging, and he's like, you know, I've suffered a lot. Can you guys give me a chance? And the guy's like, no, 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 no. But like Krill keeps on going, like, please, just I'm begging, like,
And then he's
you
got to
know,
write the scripture for 15 times, and it's like, y'all some bastards.
assholes, bro.
So, like, and that ain't like no small thing because the book's probably like that fucking big in Russian.
Yeah, yeah. But just
He even says it. He's like, I'm never gonna finish this. There is no way.
I'm just gonna have to what's it called
I'm just gonna have to
procrastinate.
try and repent and call it a day. Like, there's
Yeah,
no way I'm doing this 15 times.
excuse me. But yeah, this movie's epic. This movie's beautifully shot.
There are certain scenes in here where, yeah, you're kind of stuck. Just like even the beginning with the hot air balloon
Mhm.
where he's flying. Like, I don't know the point of that, but it was dope.
Bro, the naked pagan woman running into that river
Mm-hmm. And then
was
swimming, and then it cuts
beautiful.
off, and it doesn't let you know, does she drown or does she make it to the very far edge. It
Yeah,
just cuts her off swimming, and you're going, okay, Tarkovsky, that was good. That was
yeah, like like it was beautiful. Like the way the steady cam was just following her, and you had the sun like peeking in into the river, and she's just naked, like running in. I'm like, bro, you didn't have to film this, but this is beautiful.
yeah.
Like,
Also, this
holy shit.
this movie gives me like a history lesson in a way, because I always forget, because Americans always do this. We're like, oh, we've been around forever, and then you look at it, you're like 1400. Black Death,
Hmm,
plague, and then you're going, wait, America was founded when? Oh, we've
yeah,
only been around. These places have been around for fucking ever,
they had kingdoms forever. Like
ever before we even like, you know.
1607 is when Jamestown, Virginia gets settled. That's the first instance of like America becoming America.
Yeah,
But
which
two,
is
like,
nothing compared to China, to Russia, even to France. Like
yeah,
nothing. Like, we are babies. We are
yeah,
babies running around knocking shit over. That's is what we are.
yeah. But I love this movie. This is God. I'm hoping somebody chooses this movie for cinema condition, please, because I think
I'm
I
not doing it.
wonder. I know you're not. That's because
Not
you
doing it. I mean, I've chosen some other stuff, but I'm not doing this one.
yeah. Hope somebody does it because I want to rewatch it and like really, really dig into what I think that this movie's trying to say, even though I have an idea. But I just I love this
There's a
movie.
lot. Yeah, there's a lot deeper meaning you can get into this that we
Yeah,
just don't do on this show. That no, that's no question. I mean, that's for any Tarkovsky movie, really.
yeah. It's a
But I'm not
miracle
going to
that
do it again.
it's a miracle that we're going this long right now. But
Yeah,
yeah, I love this movie. I'm glad that I chose the 3 hour to be the first one, so that we can just get out of the way. Let's go, and we can just go ahead and go next week to Into Mama También. But I love this movie. It's epic. It's grand. It's everything I want. And this is the last Tarkovsky movie I had to watch, like feature length, because I haven't watched his short films, but it's the last one that I had to watch.
is this?
And
Do I have one more to watch? I think I have one more to watch.
nostalgia,
Yeah.
nostalgia, which I have a feeling that will be your least favorite, but because it is my least favorite, and like
Is it
even
black and
though
white?
no, it's color, but it's like
Hmm.
really drawn out color. But I will say, the last scene of Nostalgia might be one of your favorite scenes of all time.
Which is possible.
Just just because how
That was kind of like
beautiful it was.
Bergman throwing in some shit there. I'm like,
Yeah,
that was a dope scene.
yeah. But I love
I
this
don't I
movie.
don't know if you're gonna beat Stalker. Like
No,
Stalker's not gonna be beat for me.
yeah.
There's just too many great scenes in Stalker from a visual level and storytelling level that's Tarkovsky's masterpiece
Well,
to me.
he had to do this to get to Stalker. Like
Yeah.
he had to do a lot of this to get to Stalker, and that's why.
But here's another thing that I want to bring up. This man coaxed so much money out of the Russian government to make shit they don't even want to show.
Bro, he made the Soviet Union his bitch, bro.
Yeah,
First,
and then the Soviet Union didn't get wise to it till like right towards the end there.
like, I want to just bring up a couple things. He made. Let me just get this real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He made 5 movies in the Soviet Union, and it took Stalker, which is, let's be honest, the most straightforward of his commentary on the Soviet
On the
Union,
government. Yeah.
for them to finally say, enough of this shit. You're fucking exiled.
That's
like,
baller.
Like
I mean, they're I mean, technically, I mean, Kurosawa kind of did the same thing, but I don't think because the West, America and the West was already moving in when Kurosawa was really kind of getting to his peak.
Yeah,
I don't think he's even at the level of Tarkovsky's kind of fuck you.
Yeah, but yeah, that man, like
that man got balls still.
That man's got balls. It's like Fellini with Satyricon. Like you're like, no, not Satyricon. It was 8.5. Where it's like, the Vatican loved this movie. I'm like, why? What do you love of that? It's literally a.
So we're sitting here going, this he is just killing you. He is ripping you apart in this movie, and you love this movie.
Shut up, Stacy. Shut up. Oh God. What has more cuts, this one or the fucking Blade Runner? But yeah. It's the last movie I had to watch from him. I'm glad I finally watched all his movies because it's one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. I think like next to Alejandro, he is one of my favorite directors of all time. This man, unlike any other work, I'll say this. I was thinking about it, like Brad. You said you were in your 20s when you discovered Kurosawa, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at fucking 32, Brad discovered Tarkovsky, and I think
I think that's when I watched Stalker.
Yeah, and I think our lives are better for it.
I probably would have discovered him earlier on if I had known about him.
Yeah,
like Kurosawa is one of those like you hear because Spielberg and because Lucas, because all these famous directors came out and supported him when he became older. Because let's face it, Japan was going through a thing and didn't want to support him anymore, and that's kind of how it starts. It's like, well, okay, so Star Wars was inspired by this movie. Okay, I'll go watch it. I'll go watch Hidden Fortress. And it starts from there. Like I didn't have any of that from like Tarkovsky because
the U.S. didn't want his movies here.
Yeah, because Steel Curtain and all that shit.
Yeah, the Iron Curtain. Yeah, I know. But yeah, man. I'm gonna go ahead and give Andrei Rublev a perfect 10 out of 10 for me. It's a 10. But I'll give you my ranking, y'all, to let you know where it stands. But Brad, what are you gonna go ahead give Andrei Rublev?
Again, 3 hours movies just ain't my thing. But it's solid. I will give it a 9 out of 10.
All right. So since I've actually watched all of them, man, I'm gonna go bottom to top.
Hi, Rachel.
Now, when I tell you this, y'all, I'm not saying that this movie's bad.
444.
I will tell you, I have nostalgia on the bottom. Nostalgia is a 4 out of 5, guys. Okay, I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's not bad. And I have Ivan's Childhood on top of that, which is another 4 out of 5. And then my 10s out of 10 start from here. Mirror, The Sacrifice, Solaris, Andrei Rublev, and of course Stalker is still my favorite. And I think that movie changed my life. I don't think I'll ever find anything that can top Stalker from him. And I don't think it will because I already watched all his movies. So yeah. One of these days maybe I'll put Nostalgia for Brad and I, so Brad can finally finish him.
I mean,
So
we might do it on the next
yeah,
international film or something.
yeah, yeah. Hey Rachel, thank you for stopping by. Um, but yeah, man, that was our review of Andrei Rublev. And next week we are going to do Alfonso Cuarón's 2001 film Y tu mamá también.
Y tu mamá también.
Yeah, man. If you thought I was like, damn, she built like that. Wait until next week when I'm like, that lady was putting in work. That lady was putting in work the whole trip, bro.
I mean, she got to be tired. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So as always, we want to thank our wonderful patrons. You guys are the reason that these shows exist and the network is standing where it stands. We want to thank
and why we got to do our commentary on AEW All Out.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Without y'all, we wouldn't have been able to buy All Out.
Yeah,
fun night though.
Which I'm gonna agree with Aiden. Probably the best pay-per-view wrestling ever.
Yeah, I want to say I don't know when would be my last pay-per-view that I would say like, oh, better than this.
It would have been a while. It would have been a WrestleMania a long time ago for me.
Yeah, I've got it. It's probably like,
or maybe a Bash at the Beach, like for like way back there.
Because like there's a
maybe a Dean Malenko.
Point is there's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of years that I've seen something that's like top to bottom that good. But is it raining over there, Brad?
Yeah.
I hear it. That's why.
Yeah, it's pretty loud.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and just finish this when we
Okay.
Say hi to you. Say itu mama.
To your mama for me.
But thank you to our associate producer. Thank you to our associate producer, Sarah. We want to thank you all so much. And I want to thank our wonderful executive producer, Shane. Where can you find him, Brad?
You can follow our friend Shane at ThriftedIL on Twitter, at XSRK_ on Twitter, at XSRK on Twitch. I might have got those flipped around, but I'm trying not to be distracted. Or go purchase something from the Suppy Guide at thriftedil.com.
Mm-hmm.
It might be hailing.
I think it sounds like hail compared to rain.
It's really loud. It's really loud right now.
And I want to thank our writer, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
It was nice seeing you this weekend, bro. Thank you, cuz, for coming down. It was fun to see you, cuz. And I'll see you whenever you come back. But at Real Nerdy Dad on Twitter. And guys, right now, Brad and I do not know what the hell we're doing on Thursday.
Maybe nothing. We don't know. I don't know.
I think we're mentally preparing ourselves on Thursday for what we're gonna do on Saturday. So
that might be a get drunk for Brad day.
I think I might just have us watch the Paw Patrol
happy
movie.
things, some happy things, just short Disney films.
Yeah. I'll find something for. I think we might do Vivo or something.
So just go into our happy place.
Yeah. Because on Saturday we are celebrating our 5 years. We were supposed to do it last week, but things stacked up, and I was not here on Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
But I was on Sunday, and we had a lot. But Brad did a great job on Friday.
I tried. And I say everyone else helped me through.
So on Saturday, we are going to be doing our Salo, or the 120 Days of Sodom movie commentary. Yeah, man. Heavily considering breaking my sobriety that day. But that's gonna happen, y'all. And you can read all about our rules when it comes to the movie. Who can be in here with us? On
our Discord. I sent you a question, but you're just probably going to tell me no.
What?
I asked, so if I don't send the emoji, I don't have to watch the movie.
No,
Loophole.
no, you're
But
automatically.
I'm locked in.
Yeah, yeah. You're lucky that Alex has to do some stuff, or I'd be making them come in on Saturday. I'm making. So first of all, this was originally a before I leave funding goal. Brad could have not been there, but because we put this off so long, and I don't have anybody else that I would
I'm there.
share it with, Brad has to be there.
There are some films we've watched together where the only way Raul is going to get through them is if I'm here suffering, but also just making jokes the whole fucking time.
And I'm gonna need it this time, bro. And I'm gonna need it. So we'll
Oh
see
my
you
God, how
guys.
much can you shit?
We'll see you guys hopefully on Thursday for a really happy movie, animated or something. Or on tomorrow on Medium Martyr 17's Twitch channel, we're gonna be doing Survivors of Flame. I'll be, of course, technical directing like always. Brad's gonna be playing. But yeah, probably do that, and yeah, share it.
Share it. Sharing is caring.
Yeah. But without further ado, it's been a lot of fun, y'all, and I'll talk to you guys next time. But in the meantime, I'm signing off. Brad, send them out.
Right, roll. Thank you being host as always. Thank you to all are those the words. I think thank you all those who joined us in chat today. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to Kylie for the follows. Super dope. Thank you to all our listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, I guess all I can say is
I would have let that pagan woman kiss me too.
Young Yoda out.